Oh my. Oh shit. What is happening right now? Oh man, Spotify has...
They're definitely closer today, hey?
Spotify has no idea. Yeah, dude. I didn't get the shape today, so
You look good, you look rugged.
Fuck, thanks.
You look like fucking Hugh Jackman situation.
You look like shit.
No, you look rugged, bro.
Thanks, man.
All right, let's go fucking peak.
Welcome back. Welcome back to the new episode of the Split Shift Pod, where we cut through the bullshit and the noise of the fitness industry. My name is Daniel.
My name is Jamie, and today we have a couple interesting questions for each other.
Yeah.
A couple questions that might get us cancelled. No, but we decided that we'd throw each other a little bit of a curveball and see what our opinions are on certain things, because if anybody's good at giving opinions, it's a couple fucking, white men, young white men without kids.
I'm excited yet nervous at the exact same time. So I have no idea. I don't know what I'm gonna say. I haven't prepped anything. I haven't got anything like no structure. I don't know. So this may turn out really good, or this may be our last episode.
This might be our last episode. You may be fucking unfollowing off Spotify. But we're going to keep it, as per usual, somewhat fitness industry related.
Yeah.
Because we can't go too fucking rogue,
We want to at least
stay in our lane a little bit.
Yeah, stay in our lane a little bit, but also maybe just give a new perspective and some things. And maybe, where you might turn around and say, I actually didn't think of it like that. I don't know. We'll find out. Or I disagree.
Fuck those guys.
Yeah,
I disagree. Fuck them.
But you know what? The journey is what matters the most. It's about the friends we make along the way.
Yeah. All right. Are we ready for this?
Yeah, let's do this.
I'm going to shoot the first question to Darnell Blazesco.
Yeah. What's my name?
Darnell Blazesco.
Blazesco.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. All right. Danny.
I'm nervous. My hands are clammy.
From the Split Shift podcast.
Jimbo.
What do you reckon? What do you reckon, man? If we're going to have a chat about it, which we probably will soon, what would you say if I asked you? I won't, but if I was going to ask you, has personal training become less about the client and more about the marketing? Wait, sorry, upward inflection. What do you reckon? Has personal training become less about the client and more about the marketing? Sorry, I said it like a statement. I think that was the answer to the question. More about the client. No, sorry, less about the client.
Shit.
More about the marketing.
Less about the client, more about the marketing.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a hard one, man. That's actually a bit nervous to answer that one, because I think this might divide some opinions, because it kind of goes. I personally think answering what I'm about to say is only based on my experiences. I think you'll agree with me on this one, because we've trained at the same gym. We've understood the systems, the service, and all that type of stuff. It's always been people first. I personally have never, honest to God, I've never saw myself as the guy that made people change their lives. I was a person that's kind of holding their hand and guiding them to their true potential, to their ideal self, and also help them create the system, stuff like that. I always seen myself as that role, but I wasn't the guy. I'm like, yeah, I'm the guy. I'm the fucking guy.
You are the guy.
But it doesn't feel like I'm the guy.
You're the guy.
Like at the end of the day, they're the person. Because it is like, there was actually this really good analogy, is that, and bear with me on this one, and it always stuck with me. I heard it a couple of years ago, was that we're Alfred and the client's Batman. It's like the hero's journey. Like, we're the guys in the back, just like helping them, just doing that. Like, they're doing their thing. It's the hero's journey. They're doing the thing. And we're just in the back, just making sure they're supported. They've got the things that they need, questions when they need to, the service and the advice that they need to. That's kind of how I see my role as a coach and a trainer as well. I feel differently nowadays. Nowadays is a little different, because there is this I don't know if you agree with me on this one, but there's been an influx on personal trainers wanting to market themselves online, which is fine, because people can realize they can make money online, be the laptop coach and stuff like that. Don't get me wrong, like that's all really, really cool. I find, and this is also, I take this on like my view on content creation, is that people are starting to become less, they care less around the actual, I guess, the service side of it and care more about the personality. And I think the people would see, and I get that because they want to connect with on a human level, like who the fuck is this person? Because online, I feel like it's pretty hard. If you saw someone at face to face, you know them at face value to be like, oh, this person's full of shit. Or this guy actually gives a fuck about the people. But online is so hard to portray that. So you have to put out a lot of vulnerability of that online. I think it's, again, I feel like with the marketing side of it is that you have to be so centered around you to find, so the people can trust you to work with you. But again, I feel like it can skew the wrong way as well. Like to think that it's like, I don't know, like maybe it's like I don't see it as much from a coach's perspective. Maybe I just don't see it as much with, you know, like what the client's journeys and successes, and it's all about the actual trainer themselves because they're putting heavily on themselves, if you get what I mean. So I feel like it kind of has a little bit, but also it's a hard one to answer. I'm curious to know what you think.
Yeah. Well, this is why I've had so much resistance to socials.
Me too.
Over the years, like you said, we both had the bread and butter of the face-to-face, love people, love helping people, connecting with people. But ultimately, at the end of the day, it's not scalable, you know? So you can only scale to however much you want. So, or however much you can handle face-to-face, and having a connection, that same connection, trying to imitate that same connection with somebody online is fucking, it's hard. It's very, very fucking hard. So there's a resistance to that part. But if we're looking at the marketing thing, like there's no doubt, like, you know, fucking I know, and I'm sure anybody that's watching that has been chatting to us for the past year or so. I think it's been a year now, probably.
Yeah.
It's been about a year, probably since our first ep. Yeah, you know what we're about. We're like, it's not about us. It's about the person we're helping. It's about the client. It's about, like what you just said, about helping the hero along their journey. I fucking love that, by the way. That's sick. That is actually very, very cool, the Batman Alfred thing. And that's hard because when you look on socials and you're looking on, you know, trying to market that sort of stuff, you see the opposite. And this is exactly what my limiting belief that I've dealt with for fucking years and years and years, still deal with now, like having just literally a few months ago started posting on social media, which is like I've done a PT personal train for 10 years without doing any socials, you know? And finally, because I didn't resonate with those people, the people that I was seeing online where it's all very masturbatory, it's just posing mirror selfies, all that sort of shit. And they'll post a couple transformations. Skinny, used to be fat, you can do it too. Here's another fucking video of me working out. You know, like I didn't resonate with that, and I didn't think that my clients that I was working with, I didn't think they resonated with it either.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess a lot of the people online, a lot of people that are looking for a coach or a trainer, that's the shit that excites people. They like seeing fucking 500,000 followers, you know? They're like, that seems to be like, they obviously know what they're talking about because they've got so many fucking followers, you know? So that's been my big resistance to that. So I definitely fucking agree. I think, I don't even think it's new, to be honest. I think that it's like, we're probably just new to it. It's been happening for ages, but I think that it's definitely much more accelerated now because since COVID, people did shift online, and then, you know, how many fucking amazing business coaches that used to be fucking trainers for 6 months beforehand are now business coaches, coaching people how to market themselves and take fucking little sexy selfies and all that sort of shit. So yes, I think it is very centered around themselves and the coach instead of actually the person.
I agree. And it's nice the way you said it like that, because it's no, I felt that exact same resistance. Like it is so hard to, but like if I can, like the one thing I've noticed when I was doing more of content creation stuff like that is, you know, with the education side of it, like education is so important that moves the needle.
Yeah.
But do they really like?
They get like 5 likes.
Like, it's not really like, I don't think it's gripping because there's not a lot of emotion behind it. It's
Yes.
things that's going to help them. But seeing that that guy that's like super shredded, that's super like famous, that has a wider audience.
Yeah.
It almost sounds like we're like, oh, we're just being salty about it, but it's just purely just observationally. They're like, I think there has been a shift in like people just value that more.
Yeah.
And it is what it is. Like, you know what I mean? Like I think it was maybe, I agree. It was probably already like always been there. Maybe 10 years ago when there was like a little bit less of this, when it was a lot personable. I don't think it probably was as much, but it shifted 100% after COVID because a lot of things change from there where people have to like, I have to work remotely now. What do I have to do now?
Yes.
Now I have to start marketing.
Yes.
And I just feel like, to answer that question, I would say it's kind of can go both ways. Depends on how you look at it.
Yeah.
And it can work in favors. Like when you're reaching a wider audience to generally help people, it's fucking awesome.
Yes.
It's such a cool tool. But I think there has been also on the flip side of that same, when it tips the scale the other way, where it can be super self-centered and people and it just feeds off people's pain. They're like, I just want to be like that. And they'll give them this half-baked program or something like that actually doesn't really do much, but it's putting money in their pocket.
Yeah. And also when you were talking about, people are attracted to learning about the person, being able to trust the person first. Have you noticed, because I fucking definitely have, like the being vulnerable on social media? Like people, we sound like such a chick.
Yeah.
Like we do sound salty, but I want you to understand I couldn't give two fucking shits. But I can definitely see straight through it. I just want people to be able to see straight through it as well. People becoming, like coaches in particular, a lot of them are becoming way more vulnerable online. Do you think that it's just fucking everybody just happened to be like, oh, I just woke up to myself and realized that, I want to be vulnerable to you guys at the same fucking time? It's like, no, because the algorithm loves that because they can see that people are watching those videos for longer, see them crying to the fucking camera, that your coach crying to the camera, but like fucking.
It's all strategy.
Like it is a lot of strategy and it's very fucking smart, but so I do have a lot of resistance to that. I do not care. I didn't think I actually cared about it until we started talking about it right now. But yeah, it's like that sort of stuff does make it difficult. Like I've found it made it difficult for me psychologically, not physically because I can make the fucking content, but psychologically to be that person that posts on social media because I have such a resistance to being that person.
I agree.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And then I get this fucking imposter syndrome, but the reverse. Like I don't want to be that person. So how do I approach posting or marketing without being that person?
It is so dude. I feel that resistance all the time, all the fucking time. Going back to that analogy, when you guy that wants to be there for people, but not be the sole person responsible, it's a challenge. It's a mental challenge for me. And again, it's like a limiting belief. Like for putting myself out there to be able to say, like create like the level of authority to say, do that, like do this, or whatever it may be.
Yes.
And show that more on social media. It has been like I said, it has been super, super tough to do that. And I do get quite imposter syndrome because I'm like, because it is like the unknown for us. Maybe we're just not into it. Like I haven't done it enough. But again, it just kind of goes against the value of like, it's not about me. It's never been about me.
Yes.
Like we've got the education, we've got the knowledge, we've got the experience behind it, but it will never be about me. And like, it will always be about the person. And how do you portray that on social media? It doesn't really work. Doesn't really work. Right now, at least. I don't know what's going to change, but it has been a bit of a shift.
Or we haven't found out.
Or maybe we haven't found out. Yeah. And maybe this is a learning experience for people that's going to be listening to this to be like, well, these guys got it wrong. Because we're new to the game and this is just what we see. And
there's definitely a lot of coaches and people, influencers even out there that are fucking legit. Like they are legit. They got big followings, but they actually do give a fuck. And that's probably why they're so successful as well.
100%.
But yeah, sorry, that was, fucking all just came up at once. So not saying that, but definitely you can tell the difference. If you actually start having a look at the content and see how it's all structured, that sort of stuff, you can see who's trying to help and who's in it for just wanking off to themselves, choking wanking in the mirror sort of vibe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Does that answer the question? What was let's
Has
personal training become less about the client, more about the marketing?
I think it answered.
I think
right.
that, yeah.
I think it answered all right.
Yeah,
I think-
the love to the client may have dissipated a little bit.
Yeah,
You know, been
yeah.
diluted in. Because it is, if you're becoming a content creator and that's your sole purpose, because you want to get more clients, like that takes a lot of fucking energy. So you have less energy to give to your people, you know?
100%.
But yeah.
It's like a was it a symbiotic relationship where like if you're, that's not the word, but it's like when you're, I think like to be like more of the online personality, you have to be, it's not, it's like under your resume that you are a content creator as well.
Yes.
And that's something that we're not super familiar with.
Yeah.
You know, and that's something that we can learn, I guess.
Yes.
But it is the new wave. It is the laptop coaches are out there that want to help people. People just want it because it's like they value the lifestyle and content creation is their thing. And, you know, people that want to, you know, take on like that coach because like, you know, that online coach, stuff like that, honestly, just make that decision. Because I think you said it really well. You can start to filter out and see who's actually genuinely there to help people or someone that's just like, yeah, it's for them or it's for the lifestyle they want, whatever it may be. I don't know.
Yeah. And you'll be able to shoot questions, all that sort of stuff. And if they actually give a fuck, you know, I'm sure they'll answer. But yeah, I don't know. It does make it harder to market, particularly what we're selling anyway. Like I remember when I fucking launched the course, the LFS course, and I was thinking about marketing. I was talking to one of my clients is in marketing. And I'm like, this is just fucked to market. Because how do you sell? Let's do all the fucking really hard groundwork to your base mental, like physical, like recreate and like do all your habits, do all that fucking shit for X amount of time, rewire it all, and then you'll start losing weight later and you'll get this result and you're going to keep it for fucking 10 years, but it's going to be a fucking long time. That is so not sexy. It's like, yeah, I want you guys to try to fucking market that.
Yeah, that's
just write up a little fucking landing page for me and fucking send it to me because it's fucked. Like
I feel that. Yeah,
it's not easy.
It's same with like when we look at the ideal self, like that's such a hard. Yeah, again, it can be a very challenging thing when you're looking at the 6-week shred of someone that's just like, oh my god, they got the sick change, which is like fucking cool. Like hats off to them.
Yeah.
But again, it's just not the people that we want to help. You know.
Exactly. Particularly not if you haven't already been aligned with that person. They don't know you. They don't have that connection. But anyway. That's that.
That was an interesting one. I didn't know where I was going to go with that. I didn't even know what answer I was going to give. So again, if you're listening to this and you're like, you know what, I could probably help these guys out, we'll take it on because we want to learn more about
the things
and maybe change our perspective on it because maybe it's a little different. Who knows?
We're all learning.
I got a question for you, man.
Oh, hell yeah. Let's go.
All right, you ready for this?
I was born ready, brother.
Question. In your opinion, are we normalising unhealthy habits in the name of self-care and mental health?
What was that?
Let me say that one more time.
What the fuck?
Are we normalising quote-unquote unhealthy habits in the name of self-care and mental health?
I believe so.
Okay.
Okay, look. That's tough. That is actually genuinely tough.
Yeah.
Because yes, I feel like depending on the person, a lot of people do, you know? And again, like you said in the last question, this is purely, any answer to any of this or any fucking elaboration is purely going to be based off my experience working with people. That's it. That is all. So stats, figures, fucking whatever you want. This is just purely what I've noticed and what I've observed and what I've done to work with people. Fuck yeah, I do think that. A lot of the time. So I guess a lot of people that I've noticed that do struggle with that. So not necessarily struggle with mental health issues, but because realistically everybody fucking does, but they do abuse the self-care side of things. And this is often due to what we we're just talking about, social media, you know? It's whatever's trending at the time. So a few, maybe, 6 podcasts ago, maybe even longer, we had a chat about body positivity. You know, and how that was a big thing. And, you know, the base behind it, the fundamentals and foundations behind that is such a positive thing. But when you put it into practice, people do abuse it because people always want the easiest way out. So when you're looking at, say, creating unhealthy habits, which is what the habits actually are when they do become a habit. When it's done often enough so that it becomes a habit, that's an unhealthy habit. If you were crutching the things that you don't want to deal with an unhealthy habit, that becomes a fucking problem. You know, if it's once or twice here or there, and you know you don't need to deal with it because it's hit every now and again, that's fine. But if it is consistent and you constantly struggle with this thing, and you're crutching it with, you know, you're skipping the gym because you're stressed, or you're binge eating food because you're masking pain or you're masking emotion, that sort of stuff, this becomes a problem, you know, and that is an unhealthy habit. It's not just an unhealthy one-off thing. It becomes a habit. So what I want you to ask yourself, what I would say first is are you checking in with yourself or are you checking out of life? Are you checking in with yourself? Are you genuinely, when you are taking that rest, are you checking in? Are you being like, what's going on with me? Am I okay? All that sort of stuff. Are you actually doing the work when you're doing that? Or are you just checking out? Are you just, it's too hard, I'm checking out? That's the first question I'd ask, you know? Most people don't really know what their mind and body needs because they've never actually taken the time to deal with that stuff. They've never taken the time to figure that shit out.
Yeah.
So how are you meant to know what you need? People just assume what I need to do is lay on the couch because I'm feeling stressed. What I need to do is, you know, go binge watch Netflix in bed because I'm feeling overwhelmed, you know. I'm taking care of my mental health. I'm focusing on self-care. That's why I'm not going to the gym today because I'm self-caring. I'm Netflixing in bed. Time and place, that's fine. But only if you've actually done the work to find out what you really need. What do you reckon?
I love that. I love that you said, are you checking in with yourself or are you checking out of life? That's a good way to view the pattern, or like view the situation as what it is.
Yeah.
It's so important. Like again, this question's super loaded. Like you can get taken so many ways, and mental health is a legit thing. Like
It
it's
is.
fucking,
It is.
and it's serious. And you got to warrant when is the right time to be able to say you need a fucking, when you're checking in with yourself is I need to actually just rest, or is it just more of or like we're making these excuses and it's all just by pattern behavior.
Yes.
And to do that and to be able to figure that out, it does take the deeper work. And that's why I'm huge on therapy. I'm huge on, you know, like, again, not to go too out of our lane.
Scope,
but yeah. Like that's why I'm huge on like talking to people. That's why I'm, you know, like seeking, you know, external source of support, even though like a coach that can guide you in the right direction for this part of your life, fitness and health. I'd say like especially with my experience of, you know, when I used to like not when I used to like when I'm managing anxiety, for people that can understand this one, it's like it can be tough, like to be able to like you may feel like the imposter, you may feel like the stress and the weight of the world, and other people might feel with other things too. It's learning how to like be like it's learning. It's so important to be able to learn how to be able to work with yourself. Like how do you work with yourself?
Exactly right.
And because you're your number one source of support. Ideally, you're with yourself all the fucking time. So how do you actually work with that? And it's by doing the work. I think with on the flip side because I agree with it. I agree with this question as well. It's and I think you put it so well, and something that like we can, even I forget it when we're kind of in the state of like things are stressed and things are heavy, is one of my mates used to say to me, like, you know, years ago, and it always stuck for me, was literally what I said before, is like, these things happen for us, not to us, whatever it may be. And that kind of just stuck to me because it's always something we can learn from. It's always something we can figure out or learn something about ourselves or find a different angle to overcome. And that it's that overcoming process. It's a process of overcoming the thing that gets you over to the other side. You're like, I fucking did that.
Yeah.
And it's like, and it is like that level of embracing. I'm like, where's the line where I need to be able to learn how to deal with hard things versus I need to actually be able to want this time that I need for myself and rest.
Yes.
And that's purely case by case scenario. I'm not the guy for that. But what I can say is that the more that we're being okay to accept that things are hard, we have to work with, like, and we go with that premise, things start to become a lot more, it's almost become expected to say, I need to avoid hard things. Hard things are just going to be there. No matter fucking what. So if we could say that, like, it's going to be hard, but how can I make it better for us? How can I actually be open to be able to make change, to do things better for me? And I think when we're looking to avoid that, it's not being able to take that step to be able to figure that out. And that can get, like, that's when the excuses can actually come in.
Yes.
I think we need to figure out how do we be able to handle adversity? Because it's going to happen, whether if it's work, whether if it's at home, whether if it's at mentally, any sort of situation, there is always going to be some level of adversity, and we need to be able to know how can we be able to handle that, be able to say, okay, it's here.
We're on.
What am I going to do?
Yeah. No, massively. I think not just with self-care, mental health, that sort of stuff, but we talk about this all the time when we're looking at anything weight loss, anything lifestyle change, anything that's in this base. It's all coming down to self-awareness.
Yeah.
I just know that a lot of people need to work on self-awareness first before checking out, Then they can learn when to prioritize what. So for example, myself, I've spoken about this in previous podcasts as well. If I do not prioritize my mental health as a daily practice or, bi-weekly practice where I, do a little bit of breath work, do a bit of meditation, get quiet, actually think about my thoughts, think about what's going on for me in my life, where am I at? If I'm not doing that, I start heading downhill pretty fucking quick. Yeah. Like if it goes for a 3-week period, this happens fucking all the time. It's happened like a month ago. I just got too busy, whatever the fuck that means, and just did not prioritize it. I headed straight downhill. Everything became a struggle. Training became a struggle. The runs that I had to do for the fucking marathon. Also did a marathon on Saturday. That's pretty cool. Thank you very much. Also went to Japan earlier this year, so that's cool. Sorry, bro.
Throw that in there.
But yeah, everything does become harder, But if I didn't have that self-awareness, I could easily have started skipping workouts. I could easily have stopped prepping my fucking food, that sort of stuff. And people just do not often have the self-awareness. And easiest thing, exactly like you said, go chat to somebody. Go chat to a friend or go get a therapist, go to a counselor, somebody that you can actually open up to and find out what's going on for you so you can actually practice things. When those things come up, when you are in that state of, I really just want to throw the fucking towel in a little bit. I'm feeling overwhelmed. I'm feeling stressed. I need to take a self-care day. Before you do that, think, how can I actually learn from this first? Next time this happens, think, how can I learn from this first? Just pause. Just be like, all right, I want to learn from this. What would happen if I just did the opposite? I feel like sitting on the couch. What would happen if I was just like, I feel like sitting on the couch. I just feel like having a self-care day. What happens if I just went for a walk instead? What if I just did that first and just as an experiment? I just want to experiment. I just want to see what happens, see how I feel, then start tracking those things, start tracking and writing down, how do I feel when I do that? Because you might find that you feel like shit after a fucking full day of Netflix binging, but you actually felt really good when you went to the beach, went for a walk and started just being with your thoughts and actually started breaking things down. Actually, I did that and then, I had all these thoughts come up. Then I just wrote them down in the notes on my phone. Now it's out of my head and it's on paper. It's no longer in my head. And I actually overcame a lot of the issues. I solved a lot of the problems that I was dealing with. All these stresses that I had, I actually figured them out. Holy fuck, I feel so much better. Maybe when I'm feeling like that, I just need to go for a walk along the beach. And instead of that being a 24-hour period where I'm just fucked, that can turn into a half-hour period where I'm actually moving my body. I'm getting in my body instead of dissociating my head from my body. Just ask yourself, what would happen if I did the opposite of what I wanted? Yeah. And you might write that down. I felt so much worse. I felt like I weighed 200 kilos. My mind was weighing me down. I felt horrible. Okay, for next time, probably not the right thing to do, but at least you tried and then you learnt. Don't lock anything in as a habit until you've tried the other things. It's like how we talk about exercise. If you are going to jiu-jitsu because all your friends are doing it, but you fucking hate it because you think it's the only thing that you're meant to be doing for whatever reason, because Susie does it, try something else. Don't just lock that in as your thing that you need to do, because you're going to start skipping sessions. You're going to start missing out on the things that are actually going to change you because you thought that was the right thing to do. You know, you thought binge eating chocolate was the right thing to do just because you needed that right then. But what if you needed to do something different? What if you did need to go for that walk instead?
One of my favorite quotes of all time is action alleviates anxiety. And that one obviously resonates with me a lot because of my past. But I think they found the beauty in failing and doing hard things. I personally found a lot of beauty in it because of what it gave me and what doors it unlocked for me. And it only took me enough time to really understand that is by zooming out to really figure out, like, when I am doing this going through this adversity of whatever it may be, and especially when I just keep going, I just get over, I find a way, keep going, and I overcome it. I'm just giving myself the evidence, and sometimes I just don't really realize until I get back over the other side or reflect to say, what did it actually do for me? It actually did a fucking lot. It actually it proved to me that I am capable of doing hard things. I am capable of overcoming the thing. And again, I'm not saying to these people like they say, like, make you, like, if you listen to this, I'm like, oh, I feel shit because I'm just in bed right now and I'm avoiding it. It's not really about that at all. It is taking the small little step forward to say what your brain is telling you, you actually can say otherwise. And I'm just like, because I remember there was so many times, and there still is, because I agree with you, a few months ago, weirdly enough, I had a pretty bad mental health stint where, like, everything was so fucking hard. That's why I started timing stuff, because, like, everything felt so overwhelming. That just helped me so much. And when you're just following through of, like, the one little small thing, like overcoming that next little small thing, and you're just providing that evidence to say that you are the person that can do the thing. You can overcome the thing. Yes. No matter how fucking big it is, no matter how small it is, you can overcome the hard things. Provide yourself with enough evidence of that, you will, no matter what, you will always overcome. And you start to build, I found, like, you build a strong relationship with adversity and an appreciation for adversity and hard times and stuff like that. Not in the moment, but more so to say it's going to get better from here because I know that I can get over it, move past that, learn from whatever it may be, and I know I'm going to be super proud of myself. That's why the vehicle of like going to the gym or doing stuff like that is so fucking powerful. Not in the form of just of getting big muscles, getting stronger, or even even more so habits as well. But it's you being able to say, I did the thing, like the vehicle of fucking going to the gym, because I really did not want to do it. And I really did not want to be there. And I just really just wanted to fucking stay home because all this shit just happened and all this, that, and I hated everything. But I still did it anyway. Yeah. And, like, hearing clients say that to me, it gives me goosebumps to say, mate, you can fucking do it. Like, you can fucking keep doing it. If you go in that mentality, I'm like, I really didn't want to do it, but I did it anyway. Few and far, it doesn't fucking matter. You still showed up and did the thing. Yeah, exactly. And there's something special about that. It's fucking awesome. If you just at least you're able to, like, use it like I think of it like I actually stole this from David Goggins, but treat it like a cookie jar. When every time you're able to overcome these moments of, like, I really didn't want to do it, but I did the thing anyway, that I know that's going to benefit me, just put a mental note in it. Just like, it's like a cookie jar. I'm just like, I'm going to use that to remind myself when really shit is tough to say, no, I can do the thing. Because you have this evidence to say that. I'm just going to use my evidence from this fucking mental cookie jar, or even a physical one. I've been doing that with clients a bit more recently, and say, write down your wins and put it in this little jar and just save it for next time on a day, on a really tough day, and just read it out, because you can do the thing. So yeah, that's, I don't know if that really answered it. I'd say it did. It does. But again, on the flip side of that same coin is that it's okay to have a bad day. It's definitely okay to, when you feel like you just need to be on the couch, like you said, every now and then, for sure. Like, I've been definitely there. I will be there again. You know, my couch is calling my name and I say, fuck this. And it's going to happen because we're all human, right? And that's something awesome about that, is that humans are very, we're just emotional creatures, you know, just emotional animals. And if you kind of review back, look back to say, is this a pattern? Then that's an opportunity to start to look into it.
Yes.
If you feel like if it doesn't happen often, or it feels like I just really needed a day, don't feel bad about it. Like, you know, everyone has their day. That's fine. But only if it starts to become a pattern, that's your opportunity of control to be able to say, what can I do about that?
Yeah, I think mental health is just so fucking legit. Like it's going to dictate the quality of your life and the quality of your habits and the quality of what you can achieve and what you can do day to day.
Massively.
So how you manage it is paramount. Like how you manage your mental health, how you take care, how you actually self-care and how you actually self-soothe, all that sort of stuff. How you deal with that stuff is going to dictate the quality of your life, the quality of what you do day to day, the quality of how you feel, how you experience the world and everything that you're doing.
Huge.
And yeah, I think that people need to prioritize that first. You know, you can lose all the weight, you can do all the right things, but if you haven't first prioritized your mental health and how you deal with that, you're going to have a very, very fucking hard time. You know, if every time that you're feeling a bit shit, you just throw the fucking towel in, it won't matter how big or small the thing is, you know, you won't be able to differentiate between when something's really going wrong and you really actually need to take care of yourself. You need to prioritize yourself. You need to prioritize your mental health. Or if you're just a little bit stressed and overwhelmed, you know, you need to first find out more about yourself. Everything that we talk about is about learning yourself, becoming more self-aware in every avenue. If you can start becoming more self-aware, you can start asking yourself different questions, everything is going to become so much easier. So even like you were saying just then, asking a simple question of when tough times do arise, you're going to have the self-awareness to know how to manage that properly. You'll know what to do. Okay, I'm feeling overwhelmed. I should go do this. You know, I'm feeling stressed. I need to do this. I'm feeling fucking anxious. Instead of going to the gym, I'm going to do this because I know that works better for me when I'm feeling like that. If you can start putting these things into practice and learning more about yourself, everything, this whole process is going to become so much easier, and you will start feeling proud of yourself when you do feel like this, instead of feeling sluggish or instead of feeling like you've let yourself down, because that is when you've lost. When you feel like you're letting yourself down, that's losing. All right. You want to rig the game a little bit, just rig it in your favor so that you can start feeling proud of yourself even when you feel like shit.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Nice.
There you go.
There it is. There it is. I think I got nothing else on that one. I think we pretty much summarized it well.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks. I hope you enjoyed. This is like a, what do we call this? Episode?
Hangout. Just a hangout.
Just a hangout.
A little hangout chat about fucking topics that can get us cancelled.
Yeah. Yeah, but you know what? We don't mind a little polarizing stuff because like it.
Love a bit of polar bear.
If you like it, then we'll do another one. And maybe we'll do it with a bit of alcohol this time. Probably not, actually. No, we're definitely not.
We do need a whiskey episode, though.
We are going to do a whiskey episode because we got some good ones on the pipeline, and we're probably going to get some better questions too. So,
good whiskeys? Is that what you mean?
Whiskeys and...
We have great whiskeys in the pipeline.
Yeah.
We got some good whiskeys. What we could do is do like a little podcast pre-drink. With action. That would be so funny.
We'd be fucked.
Anyway, let's do
this. Guys, we hope you enjoyed this episode. This is a new one for us. It was a little bit of a conversational one, but if you did enjoy this, like, subscribe if you're on YouTube, Spotify, leave a 5 stars for us. We are more than happy to take any sort of feedback to make this experience better for us, because we're just figuring this shit out on the go. This is all new for us, and you may hopefully you might have took away something from this episode. Either, didn't realize that was what they were thinking, good perspective, or fuck these guys.
Or both. Bit of both.
But you still come back next week, so.
I feel both.
Yeah,
to be honest.
I'm emotionally drained off that one. That made me think hard. Anyhow, thanks for tuning in the episode. This is the Split Shift Pod. I'm Jamie.
I'm Daniel.
And we'll see you next week.
Catch you guys. What the fuck?